Well, everyone, it is Saturday, June the 22nd, 2024. I'm Doug. It is time to play Connections. But first, apparently it's been brought to my attention yesterday. We had the category things that start with a synonym for one's behind or backside. And one of the word or phrases in that category that was quizzical to me was bumper to bumper, because I've never heard of the rear end referred to as a bump or bumper. It was brought to my attention by my producer, Cassandra Hammerstone, shortly after recording that, in fact, we were looking for bum. And yes, I do remember I have been referred to as a bum. No, I have heard the rear end referred to as a bum. So there you go. As we continue our quest to find all the synonyms for the backside here on Connections. And in a first for the channel, we have a second Connections correction recorded after the Connections correction you just watched, because we realized in addition to the original fumble, I characterized the fairy tale Rumpelstiltskin is a story about someone who slept a lot. Well, it turns out that there was no sleeping per se in Rumpelstiltskin. It was actually a horrific story, which I won't summarize here. But Rip Van Winkle was the fairy tale of the fella who had a little too much to drink and fell asleep in the Catskill Mountains. That actually sounds amazing. But then fell asleep for 20 years. So technically, you could make the case that Rip Van Winkle sort of came from behind, from 20 years behind. But neither here nor there. I'm not here to defend myself. It's a Connections correction. Oopsies. And with that, let's get back to the puzzle. Okay, so let's see what we've got today. We have Frank, string, wood, ring, dog, fog, train, birds, chain, link, iron, brat, driver, omen, series, and wedge. Okay, so I believe what we have here is iron, wood, driver, and wedge being types of golf clubs. Is that the category? Kinds of golf clubs, and it is in fact the green. Okay. Let's see here. A series, a string, a chain, possibly a train. So these would be a sequential grouping of items. Is that a category? One thing after another. Okay, I think that's synonymous. There we go. It's yellow. All right. So let's see here. I don't think we've got any clear synonyms. I think we got some funky things here. Frank. A Frank, a dog, a link, and a brat. These would be what we refer to as hot dogs, most commonly hot dogs. A link has been referred to as a hot dog, a frankfurter, a brat, hot dogs. Words for sausage. Okay. We're thinking of the same thing, yes. All right, good. And that's the purple. So let's see. Fog, omen, birds, and ring. Chirping. Fog doesn't chirp. Like birds and ring. An omen. A fog lifts. The omen rings something in. To bring in something. London fog. Is there a phrase here? London fog. a bad omen. Omen isn't going to be part of another word in this case, I don't think. For the birds, birds that fly, birds that... I see birds, I see ring. Again, things that chirp, things that... a fog, an omen, birds, and ring. Symbols of something, some event. Like an omen has come to pass. There's a fog, there's birds, there's ringing. Interesting. I feel they're connected by things related to an event of some sort. I don't know what it would be though. But I feel like that has to be where we're going with this. They're certainly not synonyms. I don't think there's any wordplay here. I feel like these are audio and visual elements of an event. I can't put my finger on the event. So I realize I'm going to go for half a point here. But I feel confident that these are things related to a certain event. Am I right? What do we have here? Oh, nope. Horror movies with the birds, the fog, the omen, the ring. I'm familiar with The Ring. It's one of my favorite horror movies. I've heard of the other movies, but I haven't actually seen them. So there you go. Here we'll have a little bit of an informal poll. What is your favorite horror movie, and why do I need to see it if I haven't already? If you like those scary movies, you don't need to participate in that poll. But I'm kind of curious. I do enjoy, I'm not really a fan of just over the top gore and horror for the sake of it. I like something that's I love The Ring because it was cerebral in nature. There was an interesting premise. But nonetheless, curious if you can recommend from my must-watch queue. And nonetheless, thank you so much for watching. As always, we've had an interesting week of connections. Not necessarily our most successful week ever, or at least not mine. It may have been yours, but that's half the fun is in the journey. Well, folks, I hope you'll join me on this journey tomorrow as we play some more connections.